Welcome back, guys. If you're a huge fan of games like chess and you really love to think ahead, develop strategies, and try and outsmart and outwit your opponent, this is our collection of top 10 strategy games that will enable you to do just that. Once you've checked out the list, if you want to find any... At number 10 is Advance Wars. This wildly fun strategy game is both compelling and crazily addictive. With its easy to learn and hard to master gameplay, you'll be battering your enemies for hours, making this one of the best handheld strategy games to date. At number 9 is Warcraft 3. This was the game that launched two of the most popular franchises we know today. Its clever mechanics and open-ended story make it a timeless classic.
Comes to consume us all.
At number 8 is Tom Clancy's End War. With the innovative use of the voice command function giving you the feeling of being a general ordering troops in a battle, combined with a persistent multiplayer mode where you would fight to take over the world with everyone else, End War is so far the best attempt at a console strategy game. At number 7 is Command & Conquer Red Alert 2. The developers decided to go in a unique direction when using big-name actors like Ray Wise for its cutscenes. Red Alert 2 keeps many of its iconic weird and wacky units that made the first installment so much fun. At number 6 is Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. With the addition of the diplomatic side of war, Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion creates a much more diverse gameplay experience. Rebellion still stayed true to the series by keeping one of its most defining features: blowing stuff to bits in space. At number 5 is Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War. This is the first Warhammer 40k game that captured the essence of the tabletop game it's based on. Its dramatic campaign and fast-paced multiplayer keeps you playing for hours on end. At number 4 is Total War Rome 2. In Rome 2, you get the opportunity to control a very responsive and lifelike band of Roman warriors. It has an impressive attention to visual detail that just enhances the glorious experience. At number 3 is Sid Meier's Civilization 5. Civ 5 is an addictive turn-based strategy game. Its best feature is the many ways to win without decimating your enemies. One game you may be a military powerhouse commanding an army of giant death robots, and in the next you could be a scientific diplomat sending rockets to the moon. At number 2 is Age of Empires. This game had everything a good strategy game needs: the ability to build your own empires from scratch and lead your army to trample your foes. With the inclusion of a campaign creator and online multiplayer, you can't help but feel a sense of omnipotence after crushing an entire battalion. And the number 1 strategy game is StarCraft 2. Who doesn't like wars in space? In StarCraft 2, you'll be spending hours forming new plans and strategies to obliterate your enemies. Combined with a unique and gripping story, it has won universal acclaim in many different countries around the world. So in case you couldn't already tell, this list is a little bit biased. I mean, I've got one of my favorite games, StarCraft 2, my other favorite game, Advance Wars, and Sins of a Solar Empire and Age of Empires, all on there.
I'm really a big fan of the Advance Wars. More Advance Wars 2 on the GBA. But yeah, I played so much of that game. Unfortunately, never beat it because it's really hard.
I got the
I'm exactly the same.
in Cornflakes, I think it was. I got the disc for Age of Empires, but it was a demo. Apparently, you meant to get the full game.
I got the full game.
I got a
So
demo. What the hell? Yeah, Cornflakes.
Now we're going back to E3 2014, where I interviewed the guys from Software about the new Dark Souls 2 DLC. So I'm here with Atsu, the producer for the new Dark Souls 2 DLC. How are you going?
Oh, how's it going? Good.
Very good. We're in a pretty quiet and nice air-conditioned booth at the moment, so that's good. So we're here to talk about the new Dark Souls 2 DLC. I wanted to start out and say, how do you start thinking about, because Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 are such, like, you know, the story is so rich, and you need to really look into things. You need to go over information just to work out, like, you know, what's happening in this world. How do you start, like, designing something like a Dark Souls 2 DLC?
Again, the main game of the Dark Souls 2 itself is already providing a complete gameplay experience to the gamers. But we wanted to, provide the, three different situations, three different, level designs to, especially those players already complete the game. And we already had a, will to play, to create the 3 DLCs after, we actually finished creating the main game. But it is only after we actually release the game that we have officially decided to, create the DLC. So we're kind of really working on a tight schedule.
Yeah. You were saying before, like, that this is for people who have finished the main game, the high-level players. Can you talk about, like, what you've done in the DLC to accommodate that?
Okay. So again, there's certain conditions that the player needs to meet in the main game in order to get access to the 3 DLCs. That is to get the Ashen Mist Heart and at least visit the crypt in the main game. So we're assuming that only the experienced players can access to the basically 3 DLCs. So for that purpose, the difficulty level of the all 3 DLCs is relatively higher than most of the stages in the main game, and so it will give another challenge to the the gamers. If we already complete the game and want more and more challenge.
Because the main game isn't hard enough, right?
It's already hard enough.
Yeah.
But and in terms of difficulty, again, I want to clarify that although it's difficult, it's still reasonable.
Yeah.
It's still fair enough. As long as players try and try again, they should be able to overcome all the difficulties and the barriers we have implemented. That's the way we want to, people to experience the sense of, accomplishment. Yeah.
You were saying also that you're talking about the co-op in the game and how people without the DLC can still, virtually be there. Can you talk about, like, how, like, the summoning and stuff works in the new DLC?
Okay. So basically, all the Dark Souls 2 players will be downloading the game content itself, but only the DLC purchaser will be able to get the DLC unlock key. So that's how this DLC works. And we wanted to urge people to do a co-op in order to try to complete the challenging route of the DLCs. In addition to main loot, there will be the additional element that is the challenging route, where the difficulty level is even higher than the main loot. And of course, players can play that part alone, but it will be really, really tough to complete it alone. So we are expecting that most of the players will try to complete that part by a co-op, and for that purpose, we decided to let not only the DLC purchasers, but even the non-DLC purchasers to be summoned in that challenging route by players. And that will give more opportunities for the people to do a co-op, and also motivate non-DLC purchasers to maybe purchase the DLC content. So.
Awesome. Can you just give, like, a brief overview of what this DLC will be about? You showed us, like, the little first starting area.
Yeah. So basically, the player's mission in these 3 DLCs is to look for the 3 lost crowns, which used to be owned by the Dragon Greg's king Bandrick. And all the 3 DLCs featuring really unique 3 different situations. The first DLC, Crown of the Sunken King, they will be taking place at the the Poison Ruins, located really deeper underground. And the second DLC will be taking place at the deeper inside the Iron Keep in the main game. The third DLC, it will be taking place at the really super cold area, where covered in the snow and ice. And all the DLCs featuring the new boss enemies, enemy items, weapons, everything will be brand new. It should be interesting for fans to pick up those and try it for by yourselves. And because of having these new features, we're planning to revise the overall game play balance. Every time we release DLC, so together with DLC, we're also gonna be releasing the latest patch as well as the regulation file.
All right. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Can you tell us when the first part of DLC comes out?
So first DLC will be available July 22nd for all 3 platforms, and the second one will be available on August 26th. Third one September 24th. And for PS3 and Steam users, there will be a variable season pass, which can get 3 DLCs in discounted price. So hope a lot of fans will have a chance to pick up those 3 DLCs. And last thing I want to highlight here is that when people complete all 3 DLCs, there will be a surprises. So
Awesome. I'm sure there'll be many people working as hard as they can trying to get that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for
all
talking to
right,
me.
thank you very much.